I would like to introduce our esteemed speaker, Caleb Cronister. Caleb is a marketing specialist with Amphenol Communication Solutions Power Business Unit, where he focuses on delivering power solutions for next-generation power distribution architectures worldwide. Thank you for joining us today, Caleb. You may begin.
Awesome. Thanks, Greta. So just real quick, my name is Caleb Cronister. Like Greta said, I'm the marketing specialist for the Power Solutions business unit. And today I'm going to be going over a high-level overview of the ESS industry, special trends that are going on now, and then also some power solutions interconnects within an energy storage system. I wanted to give you guys a brief overview of the business unit before I got into energy storage system. So Power Solutions, we have a global manufacturing footprint with two state-of-the-art test labs, one in China and one in the United States. We also have 4 fully integrated manufacturing facilities, 3 in China, and we also have a new fully integrated Cochin, India facility. On top of that, we have a globally staffed R&D team in the United States, Europe, and Asia. We pride ourselves in a best-in-class power technology. In power, we focus mainly on high-density contact technologies. We have a very broad portfolio from 8 amps per contact all the way up to 1,000 amps per contact in some of our bus bar connectors. We have an ultra-low profile. It's something that we focus on heavily to enhance airflow in the system. And our proprietary silver-based platings, so our AGT and our GCS plating technologies, offer an ultra-low end-of-life contact resistance. When it comes to high-power connectors, thermal capabilities are a really big deal, and we have an in-house thermal engineering team, which they're able to run simulations not only on our products, but also on the entire system as a whole. They can test things like T-rise testing, they can change materials and test different platings, and they can also do hotspot observations as well in still air, 2-phase liquid cooling, and then also fully immersion cooling is becoming a big thing now as well. They're able to simulate that. And the thing with power, oftentimes it gets designed in last. So we have to pride ourselves in our customizable solutions. The way that we do this is with a lot of our products, we have a modular tooling design. So we're able to customize the amount of power and signal contacts depending on what the application will require. On top of all that, we have a bunch of other things that we can add, such as IP sealing technologies. We can do touch-proof features, latching. We accommodate many different voltages and field termination, just some of the examples that we've done in the past. We have a very broad product portfolio, and we usually like to break them down into different categories. I'm going to go into more detail on some certain interconnects that make more sense for energy storage systems, but as a whole, we have our one-piece solutions. So these are card edge connectors, and these mate directly with the PCB as a one-piece solution. We also have our 2-piece blade solutions. So notably, we have our Power Blade product family, which has been around for over 30 years at this point. You can see the evolution from Power Blade to Power Blade Plus, Power Blade Ultra. And later on, I will be showcasing the next generation, which will be Power Blade Ultra HD Plus. We also have our low-profile Power Blade Mini and our Power Max, which features a lot of current per linear inch. Next up, we have our bar clip bus bar connectors. This is our fastest growing product line, and we have many different bar clips coming very soon as well. I don't have all of them listed. We have solutions from 25 amps all the way up to over 1,000 amps at this point. And this connects directly to a laminated bus bar in a couple of different variations. We also have pin and socket technologies. Our biggest product line in pin and socket is Cool Power. We have the Cool Power Slim Drawer, which is modularly tooled and can be customized power and signal contacts. We have different variations of that, like a mezzanine version, as well as Slim Drawer Mini, which is a low profile. And these two on the right here are 2 new products that we're targeting for the energy storage system market, Cool Power Stamped and Formed, as well as Cool Power HD. So I'll go into a little bit more detail on that later on. Lastly, here at the bottom, we have a big focus in our business unit in targeting industrial applications. So here we have a couple of new products. Energy Clip is targeted towards energy storage system markets. We also feature A new product for us, the IPC connectors, very similar product, has been in the industry for a very long time now. And this is used in e-mobility, e-forklift type applications, but you can also see it in renewable energies. And then down here on the right, we have Fit30 and Easy Power, which are two of our field installable connectors where the wire can be installed and replaced in the field. We also offer sealing technologies for those connectors. So I wanted to go over just a brief, what is an energy storage system in the first place? The definition is a device or group of devices used to store energy and supply it for later use. Typically, it's broken down into two different categories. There's the small scale energy storage systems, which would be more residential. This is defined as 1 kilowatt hour to 20 kilowatt hours of battery. And you would see this a lot in solar applications. Batteries can be charged and used as a backup power source for a home or a small business, for example. And oftentimes, excess energy can be sold to the grid. There's also large-scale energy storage systems. So this is the commercial and industrial ESS units. This is anything greater than 20 kilowatt hours of battery. This would be all renewable resources, solar, wind, hydroelectric, etc. And this is utility grade infrastructure used by your utility providers. There are a couple of main electronic components in an ESS. One of them is the battery modules. There are many battery modules, and they allow flexibility and can be configured according to the needs. So you can add and subtract battery modules if you would need more power. Another very important component of an energy storage system is the battery management system, or BMS for short, and also all of the sensors throughout the system. This monitors and ensures stable and safe operation of batteries. A main concern that a lot of people have with large energy storage systems being built is, of course, the thermal and the fire hazards that they sometimes cause, but battery management system ensures safety. And then we also have power inverters. So renewable energy and batteries both use DC, or they create DC power. And to get that power to the grid, it needs to be inverted to AC power. Here are a couple of industry trends that we have. It's a really big thing here in the US. The US government is investing very heavily in energy storage systems and also renewable energies. Just last month, the Biden administration announced that they're going to be investing $325 million for 15 different energy storage projects to increase grid resilience. They're also offering a ton of other benefits, such as a tax credit for residential ESSs and other examples of that as well. So why will the ESS market continue to grow? The main reason is the EV boom. Over half of all new cars sold by 2030 in the United States are expected to be electric vehicles. USA electricity demand is expected to increase 18% by 2030 and 38% by 2035. These are rates that have never been seen before. And with all of these increasing power demands, the power grid infrastructure will need to be upgraded to support it. One large way that they're going to be getting all this power is from renewable energy sources. They're going to be funded and supported by the government. Also, a clean way of getting energy. And with all these new renewable energy sources, there's going to be a need for more large-scale energy storage systems. This isn't just a trend in the United States, this is worldwide. Other big countries that are investing heavily are China, Australia, Japan, India, Germany, Brazil. As you can see, it's a worldwide trend and it's not going anywhere. Energy storage market is also expected to register a compound annual growth rate of greater than 30% between the years of 2022 and 2027, that 5-year span. So one question that we get sometimes is, why would you use a pluggable connector in an energy storage system as opposed to something more permanent, such as like a bolted connection, for example? Well, there's a couple of reasons. For one, it allows a lot of flexibility. Connectors allow for a modular system design, so you can add and subtract or change around the system design much easier if it is a pluggable connector as opposed to something more permanently fixed. Also, in a lot of systems, the connections are possible from the front or the rear of the battery module, so it allows for a little bit more customizability and just ease of use. On top of that, it's a much quicker installation. Most of the connectors that are used in an ESS are simple and they're plug-and-play solutions, so they're really easy to install and also unmate if needed. A lot of them also feature many safety and maintenance features, so touch safe designs, for example, latching features. On top of that, the entire system as a whole is more reliable when you have pluggable connectors. Swappable battery modules prevent an entire ESS unit from going down if one battery module fails. With so many battery modules and an energy storage system, it is very useful to have pluggable connectors so you can swap them out and it can be easily replaced if needed. And on top of all that, you're future-proofing the design by using new power connector technologies. So we're evolving the technologies and they're all oftentimes being designed for next generation ESS designs. So future-proofing the design with new power connectors. So now I wanted to get into a couple of our new products that we're designing for next generation energy storage system designs. We have our Cool Power HD and our Cool Power Stamped and Formed product lines. These are very similar products. If you see, let's take a look at the bottom one first. Cool Power Stamped and Formed. This is rated up to 160 amps per pin at an 8mm pin diameter. This is a stamped and formed lower cost solution than the one up above it in Cool Power HD. However, it does take up a bit of a larger profile. So this would accommodate more towards systems where they're not really in a space restraint and they're looking for more of a cheaper connector design for 160 amps. Up here, we have our new higher density solution. This is Cool Power HD, rated for up to 350 amps per pin at a 10.3mm pin diameter. And this one has many different pin diameter options from 6mm all the way up to 10.3mm. It should be noted that both of these connectors have a very flexible housing form factor and can be customized. They come in one position as well as two position variants. So they can come in more of a one position, which would be more suited towards an energy storage system. And there are multiple latching options. So here you can see a push to release. You have a squeeze to release up here as well. And the housing can be customized on the customer request. Another somewhat common variation of an energy storage system power distribution that we have here is through bus bars. As you can see here, you would slide the battery modules in to the rack. And once you have slid them in the entire way, both of the bar clip or bus bar connectors would mate to the laminated bus bars and distribute the power up and down the system. This is very reminiscent of a data center design, which is why we have such a large bar clip portfolio already. We've been designing bar clip connectors for 25, 30 years in the data center world. And with a similar design in an energy storage system, we already have a large amount of options available depending on the power requirements. We can easily customize these to customer requests, whether you would need a touch safe design or any other feature like that. We also offer a bar clip XP series. So this is the same contact technology, but it just doesn't have the plastic wrapped around, and we're able to get up to 1,000 amps here. All of these connectors can be cableized, and we do have a very large cableized bar clip connector portfolio as well. Next up, for the battery management system and sensors throughout the system, we have our Minitech Power. This is what we would promote for these types of applications. It's a form fit comparable and compatible with other industry providers. Minitech Power features a BMI or a blind mate interface design for increased gatherability. The contacts also feature a polarization feature, and this prevents mismating, which would also cause damage to the contacts. So we prevent that. There's also a positive locking mechanism to ensure secure mating, as well as a TPA or terminal position assurance feature. Insect power, very useful, is that it's a small and versatile form factor. Pretty much any application that you can think of probably has a mini sec power inside of it. This is used from home appliances to data centers to robotics and energy storage systems, of course. There are 3 different flavors of this connector. We have Minitech Power 3.0. This is a 3.0 millimeter pitch and has 12 amps per contact is the current rating. We also offer a Minitech Power 4.2, which offers a 4.2 millimeter pitch and is rated up to 13 amps per contact. And lastly, we have our Minitech Power 5.7, which, you guessed it, 5.7 millimeter pitch and is rated for up to 28 amps per contact. Some typical applications that you could see a Minitech Power in is sensors, battery management system, and even sometimes you see them in system fans. Lastly, I just wanted to go over a couple of other relevant power connector options within the industry. PowerBlade Ultra HD, this is our next generation of PowerBlade. This features the highest contact density of 100 amps per contact. We also have a board-to-board and a cable-to-board option tooled up. And this features a brand new optimized guide design for blind mating applications. Some typical applications that you would see a PowerBlade in is the power inverter. You also see them in power converters, power supply units, power distribution boards, different power modules, and many other applications as well. Should be noted that this is a good example of a modularly tooled design. You can customize however many power and signal contacts as you would need in the system. And lastly, I wanted to review our IPC connector series. We have 4 different versions of this. We have the 50 amp version, the 120 amp version, 175 amp version, and the 350 amps. These are rated for up to 10,000 mating cycles and are intermatable with other industry providers. This features a touch-safe contact design and also color-keyed housings. So you cannot mate a red with a blue, for example. Only light colors can mate together. It's also hot pluggable to UL standard. Where you would typically see this type of connector is in e-mobility chargers, something such as a forklift and other rugged battery connections, but we also see it in solar and wind applications, which is why I put it into this presentation. Thank you. That's all. I just wanted to say thank you for coming out. Here's our website link, and I guess we'll be answering some questions now if you have any.
Yes, thank you, Caleb. And also joining us today from Power Solutions is Junior Product Line Manager David Beal, supporting our Q&A. And I know we had a couple questions earlier. So our first question is, are there any plans on the roadmap to make the Cool Power Connectors IP rated?
Yeah, so it looks like David answered that.
Yeah, I was just trying to type in the answers live as they came up. So for that first question, our initial product roadmap for tooling is just the standard pins with the housing as you saw that Caleb presented. But if it's something that the market requires, I know a lot of these ESS applications are outdoors and harsher environments. So if it's something that is required, then we can certainly look into that.
Perfect. And our next question that came in was, what are the applicable certifications for ESS systems, and does Amphenol have these certifications?
Yes, I mean we do a standard qualification test, so we follow UL 1977, which is a pretty well-known power standard that most connector companies follow. We also have, environmental certifications available, ROHS and other standards that we follow. So if there's another certification out there that's not covered, or if there's something that the industry follows, for example, IP67, if that's a requirement, or any other vibration or different hazardous materials or gases are going to be used with these connectors, let us know, because we have a fully functioning lab where we can simulate and test these different setups and qualify them if need be.
Thank you, David. And our next question is, what is the largest wire for the cool power stamped and formed?
Yep, so I answered this as well. The largest configuration we have right now is an 8 mm pin. So that can be welded or crimped to a 2-gauge wire or a 0-gauge wire, if you're following just the general American electrical standard wiring sizes. So those are the largest pins that we offer today. So if there'd be any demand for a even larger pin diameter, then obviously the cable would have to get larger to accommodate that, but that is what we have today.
Perfect. And it looks like there's a follow-up question. And it is, what about the UL 1973, 4128, and 9540?
Yes, so the 1973 we're familiar with. We have qualified some of our connectors to that. The 4128 and the 9540, I am not very familiar with. So I'd have to do a little bit more research on those. Again, if that's something that's kind of like an industry standard, then obviously we want to follow it. So yeah, let us do a little bit more research on those and see what all they entail.
Perfect. And can Power provide complete cable assemblies?
Yes, of course. Yeah, we do end-to-end full cable harness manufacturing. So we'll put our connector on one end and cable it off to a lug or another one of our connectors or something else that's available in the market. We're kind of A to Z custom solutions. We're willing to take on any challenge. So if you see something from the slides today, like a bar clip connector or a Cool Power HD that you see here, and you want to customize the other end, you have varying cable lengths and different things that you need, then we can certainly support that.
Perfect, thank you. And how does Power also support custom products?
Yeah, great question. So as Caleb kind of alluded to, and as I just mentioned, we support a wide range of power, as small as 10 amps on a 12-volt system, all the way up to 1,000 amps of current, right? So if we don't have something that's off the shelf that is needed for your application, then we can kind of add and subtract our power contacts and our power pins to meet your application requirements. And it's pretty rare that we're not able to accommodate it unless it's something really crazy that has some pretty harsh environment requirements.
Okay, thank you. And we have another question in, and it is the Cool Power products price cheaper than Phoenix Contact?
That's a great question. So far what we've seen is that yes, we are very competitive. For a while, Phoenix kind of had a corner on this market, but what we're finding is that we are very price competitive. Not only that, but we also have manufacturing in multiple different sites. So if you're bringing product into the U.S. and you need production outside of China, for example, then we do have options existing today in India, and we're also looking to bring up some manufacturing in Mexicali as well. So we have those options to kind of avoid tariffs if needed, and find the cheapest cost possible.
Awesome, thank you, David. And that is all the time that we do have today for our Q&A. And if we didn't get to any of your questions, I will be sending out a Q&A transcript after the webinar. So we will also get to those questions as well. Thank you everyone for joining us today and learning more about energy storage systems.